Good morning. Good morning. It is 2:44 a.m. I am on my way to the gym right now, and I was, as I was getting ready, I know it sounds crazy, but I really, let me pull out of this garage. I really understand, and I think I always have understood how important it is to get the things that make you weak under control, the things that make you, the things that distract you. I think as a kid, during different stages and different ages, it's different things. You know, as a child, as an infant, it's a rattle or a bottle or a noise that distracts you. As a small child, it becomes a cartoon or now YouTube or some of the other things that are out. And then as you get a little bit older into teenage, ends up becoming your friends. And then as you get into adolescence, it ends up becoming your girlfriend. And you see how you keep having different things, different distractions, different things. And I guess, to be very clear and very blunt and very honest about it, distractions help make you who you are, but at a certain point in time, it's done the molding it needs to do. Now it's just a distraction. It's moved past the point of teach and learn. Now it's trying to rule you, and it's trying to impede on your life. For me, there's been a lot of things I've been able to turn away from. Liquor. God, I don't remember the last time. And the drinking wasn't something that I had to struggle with. It wasn't something that I said, oh man, I'm gonna stop drinking on this day, or I'm gonna take it down to one beer. Like, I just stopped. Or smoking cigarettes, I just stopped. Or fast food, I just stopped. Or sugar, I just stopped. A lot of people say, well, you can't just stop having sugar. Well, why not? I've never heard of anybody dying from it. Smoking weed, I just stopped. I just stopped. And I'm not, listen, to each their own. You got to learn your own lesson for your own reason, in your own time, and that's up to you. But for me, I needed something more. And when I think about all the things that I've been able to overcome, and that's even bad relationships, that's even family members, that's anything that becomes some type of distraction. And I've struggled with pornography. So when I say it's funny, it's because of all the things that I've struggled with pornography. I was reading something today. I was listening to TD Jakes, and I was reading some of the comments that people had left. And one comment said, I am a recovering drug addict. I am a recovering drug addict from AA, or, I'm not familiar with these different groups or organizations that help people that have drug addictions. And they said, I've been sober and I've been clean of drugs, and it's a day by day step. And as I'm reading, I'm thinking, that's such a long and drawn out process. And everything that I've been able to quit or stop has been so quick. For me, it's pornography. For you, it could be eating. For another person, It could be that relationship that they need to let go of. The distraction. I'm saying this because I know that on the other side of a distraction, on the other side of an addiction, is greatness. You start to find something great in you. And yesterday, and when I'm talking about these distractions, for me, I'm not talking about something a year ago. I'm talking about something that I've been fighting every day. Pornography? Not drugs, not weed, not infidelity. Well, I guess that would be infidelity. I'm not sure. Yeah, I would say so. Not alcohol, not work, not some, my income has risen, not some spending habit. Pornography? Are you kidding me? My distraction? But when I was in prison, it was also my escape. It was my getaway. It was my connection with the free world. Because the people that I was looking at in the magazines were free. And I had an idea of this is what life was like, and this is how you enjoy yourself, and this is what's going on. So everything that's a distraction is intended to build you up and get you. I'm trying to make a point. The point that I'm making is that everything has its place. Cocaine wasn't always used to make crack. At some point, it was medicinal. But when you take that thing that was intended to help you and you put it in the wrong hands, and the use becomes not what it was intended for, you create another distraction. And I remember a couple days ago, I was like, I'm tired and it could have, I guess it could have been other things, but I said, man, I'm tired and man, I don't feel like I feel like I'm productive, but I know I got more in me. When you know God, when you know God and God created and did this and God did that and gave everything purpose and gave everything its proper place in life, separated the ocean from land by means of sand. Right? Kept everything tied to the ground by means of gravity. And when you know this and you start feeling and knowing that you have a bigger purpose, anytime something gets in the way that becomes a distraction and it takes away from that, it's like when Superman is in the presence of kryptonite, he knows something is being sucked out of his body. He's like, oh my God, there's something coming out of me and it's taken away from my calling. It's taken away from my true power. It's taken away from my real ability. So it doesn't matter what the distraction is. It doesn't matter what's being introduced into your life. If it doesn't serve a purpose past taking you to your biggest and your baddest person that you can be, the suggestion would be that you let it go. So now when I deal with this pornography thing, it's a daily thing. So when I get down and I pray and I say, just strengthen me for today. I don't even need to have it for life. I don't even need to have it for the next week. I just need to have some strength for today. So I would encourage you that whatever your weakness is and whatever it is that is distracting you, that you just ask that you get strength for today. And then you take it just like that person who has been drug free, and you take it day by day. And even though it seems like it's a long process because you're so used to getting things done and being in control, sometimes things are going to test you a little bit further. But even inside of the test is intended to give you a bigger and better purpose. I can't teach this. This is something that you have to feel. This is something that you have to already be led to do. And for me, I know. I've looked at my numbers. I've analyzed my relationships. I've tallied up where I've been at, where I've come from, and where I'm at. And I know that if anything gets in my way, it's something that I am allowing. If my greatness does not continue to grow, it's not because of God. It's not because of somebody outside of me. It's not because the timing ain't right. It's not because the environment ain't right. It's not because the economy is off. It's because I am failing to recognize the one thing that has been my comforter has now turned its evil head on me and is now my enemy. So you have an option. You can be your greatest you. Because I guarantee it's only one thing. I guarantee it's only one thing. I am sure of this. I am positive of this. I've dismissed so many other things out of my life, but yet there's always that one thing. It's kind of like that little nagging cough after you get over a cold. There's always that one thing. You know what it is. I know what mine is. See, because the weed was good. The weed, matter of fact, the weed made the sex better. Whether it was sex with pornography or with my wife. Right? I used to love getting that little bag. Or that big bag. I used to say the weed that I get was comparable to gold based on how they sold it by the gram. It was just as expensive. But its purpose in my life wasn't strong enough to stay there. So you got to go. The alcohol. Oh man, the alcohol just made the party so much funner. Have you ever been at a party where everybody's drinking and you didn't drink? You just be sitting there looking like you drunk fools. But you the one that felt out of place? It made the party so much funner. It was an activity that you could do when you had nothing to do. It was something that you can. It was something that you could involved in whatever was going on, and it made it better. Or so you thought. I think the only thing I may have had is a sip of my wife's wine. But that had to go. And food, oh man, food. Listen, when I wanted to start losing weight and when I wanted to start living a healthier life, like it didn't take much for me to build up an idea or a concept about my opinion on food. You know, right now my lunch is down there, and there's a piece of plank steak. There's a small portion of rice, just rice, not kung pao rice or chicken fried rice or onion fried rice or whatever other kind of weird fried rice that they got. Just white rice and some broccoli. So I've named off some of the biggest things that affects that most people can have in common. Say that's my issue, right? Simple, easy, nothing. Out of there. Right? Simple as that. Out of there. So when I say that we all have one thing, you may think you got 5 things, but I guarantee it ain't going to take a whole lot of persuading and 95% of those things to get you to stop it. Versus the one thing, though, no matter what you do, it keeps coming back. One thing. It's one thing. There's one distraction in your life. I don't even know what it is for you. I'm telling you what it is for me. And it eats up my time. It eats up my energy. It eats up my mental capacity. It will have me consumed. And at one point, it was the one thing that would comfort me. And now it's the one thing that distracts me in spite of everything else I've come through. Giving up. Let go. And on the other side of conquering that one thing that I'm residing to do one day at a time, will, in my honest opinion, be a level of greatness unparalleled to anything else that I've ever seen or dealt with. And I believe the same is true for you. that one thing? I've broken it down. It's one thing that stands between you and greatness. Good luck on identifying it. Good luck on identifying it.